Yeah. Right.
There you go.
So, yeah,
A little bit of a lag, eh?
I don't know, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, just because it's cold, we're in the garage.
No, there's a lag.
Oh, yeah,
That's not.
but I think that's how it is. I could be wrong.
That's pretty cool.
Is that for you?
Yeah, so when I text you, just come out. Stuff like that. Just...
Okay.
If you're watching, guys, just say hi in the chat so I can see who's here. Just getting set up. There's a lag when I actually see the video and stuff, so it's kind of weird, so I have to get used to it. So I'm going to be hitting chest volume today. I'm going to be switching out the regular bar for the Swissbar. I want to focus on a lot of chest, and I'm going to take the shoulders out of it. Shoulders are a little tired, so instead of doing flat bench, I'm going to use a neutral grip on the Swissbar. So for my second chest workout of the week, it's usually Saturday or Sunday. And I like to focus on lots of sets and reps, more bodybuilding, fucking shit. Tuesdays is my heavy bench. I train with my training partner. So today's gonna be a little different because I don't have a spotter. So taking the bar off and on is gonna be a little awkward, so I'm probably not gonna go as heavy. Oh, it's a little chilly in your hands. So out in the garage here, it's about 9 degrees outside. So I had the little propane furnace thing going, but of course I just ran out of gas. So as I get warmed up, it'll get warmed up in here. Swissbar probably weighs about 80 pounds as opposed to a 45-pound bar, so I have to remember that when I'm loading plates. But like I said, I'm not worried so much about going heavy as to getting a lot of blood, a lot of pump. hypertrophy, build some muscle, burn some calories. I already did a half-hour session on the bike this morning. And no music, because I don't know how to handle all the music and the rights and licensing, and YouTube will just take things down and shut things up, so we'll just keep it quiet. A lot of huffing and puffing, grunting and groaning. It is a little awkward taking it out by yourself. It's one thing about training at home and alone. I'm very lucky to have all the equipment I do. I made sure to keep a lot of my favorite stuff when I close my gym in August, because training is always going to be a part of what I do. So that was good. So with the August shutdown that we're going through, I made sure to set up the gym so we get lots of great workouts in. Here you can see the bench. All the bars, a lot of road bars. I'm a big fan of road bars. There's a Texas squat bar in there somewhere. Off to the side a little bit, I've got a power rack where we can do attachments for dips and chins and band attachments and things like that. So, and then just in front here, I don't know if you can see it now, but I've got a heavy duty T-bar row, one of my favorite back exercises, and then an adjustable flat to shoulder utility bench. Dumbbells go up to about 90 pounds here, maybe 95. And then I have the kettlebells up to 40 kilos, pairs of each. And a couple of dirty heavy boys, 200-pounder in the corner stuff. So we can do some functional stuff. For squatting, I haven't been doing a lot of legs. I'm going to start throwing that in soon, but probably some box squats, catcher squats with the kettlebells, functional stuff. I'm not going to compete in a squat, so I'm not worried about the bar on my back. Just want to keep the legs balanced. I'll tell you, not having access to a gym, I've gotten really used to hitting the machines for legs and the cables for different body parts. So having to retweak and rebuild all that and kind of go back to basics has been a challenge. And kind of remembering how it was back in the late 80s, early 90s when I started really training in earnest. There wasn't as many machines, as many cable machines. So you did a lot of dumbbell work and barbell work and stuff. So just gotta think back. Lots of bands, a lot of functional stuff we can do with bands to replicate cable machines, which is cool. So it's kind of interesting to have that new challenge when we're training. Go a little heavier. Just a little awkward taking it out by myself. A little strenuous on the shoulders. You get spoiled when you get used to having a lift off. So you can keep everything back and traps down and shoulders down and start in the perfect position. So a couple of things when you're training by yourself. Sometimes you have to adjust the weight a little bit. With the weight of the Swissbar, this is probably about, 245. Working that neutral grip. Medium. Might get my son in here to spot me later and do a couple of wide ones, get a little more stretch in the pecs. We'll see. Right now I just want to get a bunch of sets and reps in. Keep pushing blood. So I think maybe I might start doing this on Sundays, a consistent thing where we do the live training. I can do it with my other ones, but I have a couple training partners and they're a little gun shy about being online, social media with everything that's going on and stuff, even though we're allowed to have, 5 people gathered and stuff. Some people just don't want to have that kind of grief, on social media, which is, it's their opinion and it's their choice. I get it. But at the end of the day, I want to maximize the chance to stay strong and keep getting stronger and fitter so that we can handle whatever's coming at us and stuff, right? We have to be physically and mentally strong and tough to deal with whatever's happening. So making sure you get those workouts in is super important. Yeah, that's a good weight. Feeling that pretty good. How about you guys? You guys able to work out at home? Jan, I know you're able to. You got a nice little setup there. You invested before everything happened. That was wise. I think this is going to make a lot of people think about what's important to have, especially if you value your training and your strength and conditioning. We come to rely on gyms so much, which is good, and I worry a lot about the gyms surviving this craziness. But at the end of the day, maybe the smart thing to do is have a bit of a setup at home, and then when you get back to the gym, so if this happens again, you're able to still maintain your training and stuff. I see people invest a lot of money in a lot of things that they deem important, but at the end of the day, and I'm talking to the lifting community, people who love to train. There's a lot of people I know going crazy right now with nowhere to work out, nothing to do with themselves, worried about the gains, all the hard work they've done. And at the end of the day, it's a few bucks to invest, but something you can do with you all the time. So if you can save up to go for a trip, go down south once or twice a year, you can throw some money into a basic home gym setup, albeit, be it in your garage or in your basement, put a rack and adjustable bench and some plates, goes a long way, right? Don't get me wrong, I miss the gym. I miss the gym atmosphere and the energy and just the environment. And I'm really looking forward to getting back to that. But at the end of the day, training is important. So you got to do what you got to do to make sure it happens. Still strong, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Is that you, Steph? Can't remember what your YouTube handle is. I just texted my son to come out and give me a couple lift offs here. See how long that takes for that to happen. Oh, there you go, he's right there.
Yo.
Yeah, lift offs. Grab the right back here and bring it out with me. It's kind of jammed in there. On 3, 1, 2, 3, up, over, release. Rock. Well, definitely a lot easier when we get a lift off, so you can just stick around for a couple more sets. So I'm about 4 or 5 sets in. I want to get at least 3 more in. Then I'm going to switch off to some dumbbells. We'll set it up over here. It's funny, there's a delay in the video to the sound, so I heard the garage door open when he came out, but it just played a few seconds ago, so I keep looking over the door. We got 6 people watching, so we're definitely on the verge of crashing the internet.
Not a big deal.
Like you said, if you're watching, post a comment, say hi. Let me know where you're from. I asked earlier if you guys have a place to work out yourself, what kind of setup you have. Go ahead and share that, let people know what you're up to. I think that's the other thing that a lot of people are suffering from is the isolation. And the big thing about training in a facility is you have the camaraderie, you know, the brothers and sisters, you know, in iron that, you know, respect the process and each other for going through it. So you have that kind of kindred spirit. And when you're all of a sudden you're isolated, you lose a lot of that. And I know we're trying to make up for it by doing more social stuff online, hence what we're doing here, which is good, but it's never quite the same. You know, as humans, we're social animals. We're meant to interact. So I think that's probably some of the biggest challenges. Probably start doing a couple of videos during the week talking about handling things day to day, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do, what I'm focusing on. I know a lot of you guys have asked when I'll start doing, I was doing a lot of daily 5 a.m. videos a year or so ago. I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. right now, but I think I'll start getting back into that as well. So, because it keeps me motivated, it also gives me some structure as well, and that's one of the first videos we're going to talk about, or do, is talking about that, about maintaining structure throughout your day, because it's so wild and loose now that we're just not used to it. All right, let's rock another set here. You know, on heavy bench day, last week I went up to like 455 for 3 sets. I did a set of 3, set of 4, a set of 5. Am I feeling that a bit today? Maybe. But the whole purpose today is 8 to 10 reps, lots of blood, and just get that pump going and push some muscle density. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Up, over. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rock. I think we're going to do one more set of this. Now that I have a spotter, I'm going to try the wider grip, get a little more pec stretch. If I like it, I might do a second set. For those of you wondering, it's my son Braden. I'm assuming everyone's clapping and cheering right now on the other end. I don't know what's going on. Uncomfortable pause. Is it working?
Yes, sir. Oh, actually, that's even better. Look at that. You can see exactly what you're doing. Look at that.
Was it good though? Did it work that way? All right, we're back live again. So I probably stalled, so you didn't see my 72 other sets on the bench press that I did. I just spent 2 hours on here. We're live recording. You can come in if you want. It's your house.
No, I was gonna say, you got, as a work, because we've got the computers all
Yeah. No, it's going. That was my wife just checking in on us. See what we're up to.
There you go. How's that?
All right. Not sure how much we missed.
What time is it now? What time is it now?
I don't know, but I'm on my phone.
Exactly, you're on your phone. What time is it?
1:55.
Okay, so then it's maybe 5 minutes on you.
So probably missed about 5 minutes. In that time, I did 32 more sets. But since it's not on video, it doesn't count. So, all right, moving on to some incline dumbbell fly. Again, I want to focus on the pecs today, chesticles. So, a little lighter. One thing I have to say about going back to dumbbell work, even slinging the dumbbells, I've gotten out of how I used to do. More of a stretch now.
You want to tell me, man? Let me know if you need me.
Yeah. Oh, it feels good. Things are a little tight for sure from Tuesday. So. Whew. Jeff, I love what you're doing in the basement there, buddy. Water, weight bar, water jugs, cans of paint. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That's it, man. Improvise. Improvise. You know, set a couple pairs of dumbbells goes a long way. A couple pairs of dumbbells in a band goes a long way. You know, it's amazing what you can achieve and what's going on. So, all right, gonna rock another set here. It should be a little looser. I'm gonna go a little heavier. You know, this day I'm not worried so much about the weight. I do want to find a challenging weight, but it's not all about the weight. It's really about getting to those muscle groups I want to focus on. A lot of time under tension. Over 40 is going to go a little heavier. Up to 55s. Heart rate's coming up a little bit. See it over here. A couple other things too. Today's Easter Sunday, so Lent just ended. So one of the things I did for Lent was I gave up Diet Pop. So those who know me know I love my Diet Pop. There we go. There we go. So like I promised you guys, lots of glitches. I'll flip this around, see if this works better. How's that? There we go. It was sitting on, I'm using an Android tablet, and I got it a while ago, and I'm just starting to use it now. The microphone on my iPhone died, so I can't record off that. So, nothing but quality, guys. Nothing but quality entertainment for you kids. So, before I was rudely interrupted by myself and my technical ineptitude, for Lent I'd given up Diet Pop. And those who know me know that's a big thing. I drink easily 7 millimeter Diet Pepsis a day. Just love the fizz, love the taste, love the caffeine. So getting off that was definitely challenging. And even the first 3 to 4 days into the week, actually detox. It was really stressful, and all the aspartame and caffeine coming out of the system. I was probably hitting about 800-900 milligrams of caffeine a day. So completely off it. So last night I was up till about 1 a.m. this morning. So I said, all right, I want to see what a Diet Pepsi tastes like, and cracked one open, and it tasted horrible. So I don't want to go back to drinking the diet pop. I don't like the hold it had on me. It's funny. I'm almost 5.5 years sober, and giving up diet pop was 100 times harder than giving up drinking. Just I still crave it every day. But I tasted last night. It just didn't taste good. So I think I'm going to keep it there. So one of the big challenges I have is what to drink. So I'm drinking these Bublés, Michael Bublé drink. The orange tastes like orange crush. The cherry's pretty good. I need a fizz. The water I have a hard time with. Drinking a lot of BCAAs and stuff, so it's good. And then what I decided to do, and I'll do another video on this later. Everyone says that. But with the shutdown that we're going through, it's a time to really focus on some other aspects. So last year, before I closed the gym, I focused on losing 100 pounds. I dropped down to 303 from 394 or 397 in December in about 7 months. So I went back into that conditioning. So I started weighing myself again every day. And I knew I'd gained some weight with the heavy lifting and drifting from the food. So I was up to 339, but lean. Like for me, the leanest I've ever been at 339. So it wasn't showing quite the same way. But then I decided, one of the key things I did that worked really well was weighing myself every day, kept me on top of my food on a straight and narrow. So I started doing that 2 days ago. So I was 338.2. Yesterday I was 333.2, and I was just tightening up some things. I'll weigh in a little later on today and see where I'm at there. And that was a big, almost 6 pound jump. So I don't know what it's gonna be like today, but I should see a steady half pound drop every day, every other day, getting tighter on my nutrition again. Because I want to keep the strength, but I really want to get back and focus on that body composition and bring it down to under 300 pounds and chase that big 600-pound bench. And I'm telling you now, with the time on our hands, there's no better time than now to work on that kind of shit, right? All right, that was a long break. Let's get some reps. 2, 3. Oh. Ah. 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, that was good. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm gonna stay there. I like that weight. A little heavier. Helps me get a little more of a stretch. Loosening up a little bit as well. I'm just gonna check the phone for messages and comments and death threats. I don't want to miss any of those. All right. What do we got here? Android is so much better than Apple, just saying. Cool, you're back up and running. Happy Easter as well. Thanks, Perry. No, that's good. That's good. You know what? Being able to work on ourselves in a time like this is super important. And, this kind of stuff, is what builds our resiliency. But what good is resiliency if it doesn't get tested once in a while as well, right? So everyone's suffering differently. I'm not going to get into my opinions on how I feel about this issue we're having, the government response, the road response. I'm not going to get into that. Bottom line is decisions have been made that we all have to deal with. And that's really what I want to focus on is how are we going to deal with this? Some of us, have lost jobs. We're isolated. For me, my business, it was reduced a lot in August when I closed the training facility, focusing on the brand, the gear, the clothing, lifting accessories. We're starting to come up, starting to build, starting to get some progress. This hits in March. All the gyms are closed. A lot less people are training. So we've taken Iron House Gear's taken another big step and a half back. But at the end of the day, right? Pissing and moaning about it isn't going to do it. So I've been focusing on how I want to go about dealing with it in this time. So part of it is keep focusing on my training. Part of it, though, is if you notice on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, I'm posting a lot of our workouts. Usually I just post one exercise, one set, that kind of thing, just because there's a few of us working out here and they're not comfortable being on the social media, and I appreciate that. But on the days where I'm by myself, I want to film a lot more what I'm doing, the whole workout, and whenever you're on camera, you perk up a little bit more, so it's always good for form and stuff. But I want to provide some resource and some motivation and help people stay the course as much as they can. We just had JF saying he's working with water jugs and paint cans in the basement. I love it, man. There's a lot of ways to do it. Man, pound out 100 push-ups a day, 100 bodyweight squats a day. You're gonna get pumped. get up there and get those walks in. You know, I'm doing a cardio every day on the bike, but I mean, I've gone out a couple times with my wife and done a nice 35-minute walk and stuff, right? So at the end of the day, this is a chance for us to really work on these things. And that's what I want to do is string together all my social media accounts. And here's what I'm up to. Here's what I'm doing. One of the other things we're working on is you'll notice coming up with a lot more designs. I've got time on my hands. I've got time. A buddy of mine that helps me design stuff, he's got some time. So, you know, you'll see in last week alone, we released 2 or 3 new designs. We're going to release a couple more in the next few weeks. That's what we got to do, man. You know, you got to take advantage of the time you have to do other things. Fill that void with something. Fill it with constructive stuff. Oh, monologue enough. Let's get another set in. Okay. Here we go. Pump is real, pump is real. I think we'll do one more set of that. And then move on to some shoulders. I kind of have an outline what I like to do on volume day, but I also let it go where it takes me. So, a new another set of chest here. Then I move on to some shoulders. Mondays or Tuesdays when I do Mondays we've been doing biceps and triceps, so really focusing on the arms. So triceps are getting some good work in. Tuesdays after heavy bench, I do a little bit of shoulders. I do a little bit of triceps, just sort of feeders. They're already pre-exhausted, so finish them off. But on today, the second exercise after chest, I really want to work on the shoulders. So we're going to do some front shoulder stuff, some side shoulder stuff, some rears. Again, go for the pump. Get a lot of blood. Shoulders are stubborn muscles. I believe they need a lot of volume. They need lots of reps. You got to hit them from all angles. As a presser, our front delts are usually overpowering, but I still think they need a little bit of work for conditioning. And then balance the side and the rear so that shoulders are healthier, more stable. Traps so you can hold, you know, your trap position better when you bench, squat, and deadlift. So your shoulders are in a better position. You're stronger on the press. That's why taking a weight up by yourself is hard because it'll lift your shoulders off. You got to reset. So I always advise try to get lift offs whenever you can, whenever the weight gets to a certain point. But at the end of the day, the one advantage about training by yourself is that it's easy to focus on the sets and reps because listen, you can't do another rep. You're doing 10 to 15 reps. You're using a lighter weight anyway. So if you get tired, it's easier to put down. You're not getting pinned under a bar. It's a different focus, right? It's endurance. So speaking of endurance, let's get this last set in. Been hitting 12 to 15 on this. I'll do 15 to finish. Focus a few extra reps on the last set. Yeah, that's good. All right. We got some more hate mail coming in here. Everyone all crapping on Apple saying Android's better. I think it's the system you're used to. I mean, I'm glad I have both. I'd be screwed. Very good to hear from a real person what needs to be done. Not lots of do everything in the book stuff and on the net, man. Thanks, man. Listen, at the end of the day, there's a lot of great information out there on the internet. It's phenomenal. But it's the application. It's the application of that information. And we can only apply so much at a time. We can only do so much at a time. So at the end of the day, that's part of the magic, is trying to figure that stuff out. All right, I'm gonna move on to some front shoulder side raise. I'm gonna do a combo unit, so I'm gonna move the camera around. See how that is. And we're back. Cool, all right. So give me a few minutes, I'm just gonna adjust a few things. I wanna do it in such a way you can see what I'm doing. Got this crazy LED light underneath me, so it's great for the pecs. But let's just adjust a few things. I do a lot of standing dumbbell work. Maybe it's because I'm getting old, but I like to pick the weights up off a bench. I'm not focused about having to pull shit off the ground all the time. Maybe that's just some old man shit happening, I don't know. Let's start off with some 30s. I love these 30s. The reason I love these 30s is that it's how they're built. I've got a lot of hex, rubber hex, but these are kind of a foam rubber. So these 30s look massive. They look like they're like 60 pounds. So it's kind of like a fake weight thing. So it's good for the visual ego to use the 30s because they're actually the same size as the 55s I was just using. So I'm gonna try it from this angle here. I might have to move. I'm kind of in between the rack. And from this one here, slight arch forward, lean forward, and just pull them up to the side. That's good, I like that angle. So front, a little bit of side, slight bend in the elbow so my elbows don't get destroyed. I say 12 to 15 reps, but I often hit 13. 13 is my favorite number. You'll see some of the stuff we do. We don't believe in bad luck or good luck. We believe in, we make our own luck. So 13 for me represents that. We make our own luck. So I tattoo some of our artwork. You know, you can say that what's going on is bad luck around the world, but you know, there's people that are going to prosper in these times. People are going to survive and thrive. And there's people who are not going to make it or not do well. I think a lot of it has to do with how we approach things. What's still strong ass? What are you going to do for rear delts? What's your favorite exercise for that body part? I know there's not tons. So for rear delts, I'm going to put a band at the low attachment, do some sides. But the other thing I'm going to work on, and do that today, is I forgot about this combo, and I used to do it a lot. But I was on the internets watching the YouTubes, and I was watching Branch Warren and Johnny Jackson, fucking beasts. And we're going to go face down on an incline. We're going to do some wide dumbbell pull-ups, supersetted with some shrugs. Again, rear delts into the traps. So we're going to get dirty with that. That's another high rep thing. That's another thing with a lot of isolation. It's not about the weight, it's about time under tension. All right. Set 2. If the internet's been interrupted, we'll call this set 17. Here we go. I like that. Could I go a little heavier? Probably. But I like that form. I like the amount of reps. I like how it's starting to really hit the front into the side a bit. From there, I'm going to go into the side with some partials. And then from there, I'm going to work into the rear shoulders like we were just talking about. Guys, we're up to 6 watchers again, so I apologize if we crash the internet. So like I said, the purpose of me doing this on Sundays is I often train alone. I want to connect with you guys out there, motivate, inspire, but at the same time, keeps me accountable, right? So whenever you see yourself on video, you want to look better. So if I know every Sunday I'm going to be doing a live workout, it's another reason to eat better, eat cleaner, follow the diet, keep working on the daily weigh-ins, work on that quality, right? So it's little tricks like that that keep us accountable. You know, when I had the gym, we did a lot of 6-week challenges. And a lot of times people didn't like the weekly weigh-ins where we wrote the results on the board. And it was hard for people, but it was hard for people because it really painted them into a corner. But that's the whole point, is increase that accountability. So it's bigger than you. You can't hide, we tend to hide. I want to do this, I want to change this, but you know what? I'm tired today, I'll do it tomorrow. You know what? You're getting older, there's a lot less tomorrows. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna rock one more set of that. I'm gonna change the camera angle because I'm gonna do some seated sides. Do I do any rotator cuff stuff in my training? Am I gonna eat chocolate today or not? No, I'm not gonna eat any chocolate today. Rotator work, I tend to work with bands. I'll start showing you a little bit more what I do with that. My shoulders overall are pretty good. Since I've gotten back into the bodybuilding the last year, a lot more bicep work, a lot more rear shoulder work for the bodybuilding part. I found my shoulders have gotten a lot healthier, more balanced. But I do some, in my last chest workout, showed a lot of pull aparts as a finisher. I'll hang a band from the back, put it across my shoulder like a pack strap, and I'll do some stretches, hands behind the back, dislocates. I like to do that more when I'm warmed up. At the end of the workout, when I'm going to get some more mobility and stretch, as opposed to doing it cold. Another one of our chest workouts, we're working bands and just some front raises. So trying to keep that stuff going. And we're back again. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on. Crazy internet. All right, one last set of these front raises. And we're going to move on to some sides. Here we go. Let's go 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, there we go. There we go. All right. Fill something to drink, and we're going to set up for the partial sides. I say partial because it's a very short range of motion. But I find it isolates super well. A lot of time under tension. Sometimes if we go too high or too low, the stress comes off that certain muscle group we're trying to work on. So a lot of it is by feel, trying to isolate that part of the shoulder we're trying to work on, in this case the side lateral. So I'm going to see where I'm going to put this. Adjust this bad boy a little bit. Let's try putting it down here. Let's see how that is. Let's see how that is. Yeah, Jan, Diet Pepsi. No more. No more. I had one at 1 o'clock this morning for old time's sake, and tasted like shite. So I don't want to do that again. So this one here, guys, side lateral. You know, just isolating a small little part of the side, head of the shoulder. So everything about me, guys. 30 years doing this stuff, training, coaching people. I never got too caught up in the scientific name of the anterior, posterior, delta, and stuff. At the end of the day, when I work with clients and people, I like using terminology to understand. So if I say side shoulder, you understand side shoulder. If I say front shoulder, front shoulder. I'm not talking to other personal trainers and coaches. I'm more focused on getting Mr. or Mrs. Jones to understand what area we're trying to hit so that they understand the terminology, so it's easier to communicate with them overall. So with that being said, when I work the side shoulder, there's going to be a partial movement. I'm sitting on the edge of the bench, anticipation, but also so I can get a little more range of motion. But what I'm really trying to do is just come up to about this high, come down without quite touching my quads. So there's always tension on the side here. And again, high reps, super high reps. I'm going to use these big inflated 30s so it looks really impressive. And it's going to look like this. So you see, guys, I didn't get crazy high, but the entire time it was that side delt that was engaged. Lots of time under tension. I tried to go 20 to 25 reps. First set, a little stiffer. When I hit minimum 20, these are 30s. Sometimes I'll go up to 20. I'll go down to 25. Sometimes if I'm feeling really good, it's a first shoulder exercise. I got a lot of energy. I'll go up as high as 40. It's really about that. You can do these standard, but I find my lower back gets a little tired. So it just depends where you're at. I deadlifted this week heavy for the first time in a couple of years. Check that out on YouTube a couple of videos back. Citing a Bigfoot or curd deadlifting. Both are hard to believe. And I like to get back in that slowly. Maybe every second week. Heavy deadlift. A lot of T-bar rowing, as you can see, went really heavy on that as well. If you look at that video, went to 6 plates plus 30 pounds. I have the competition plates here are thinner, so I put 3 of the normal rubber 45s on. And then I put the 55-pound red plates on. So finish off 6 plates total, plus an extra 10 each for the red. So got a set of 3. That was dirty. Then I did a drop set. So got a good pump going on the shoulders now. You can tell when I get tired, I start to talk a little bit more, stall a little bit. We call it monologuing. Here we go. Sorry guys, it keeps kicking out. So I was probably about 15 reps there when I kicked out. I did 100 more, so 115. So again, as promised, lots of technical glitches. We'll work on this. We'll get better. But hey, listen, it's real, it's live. So listen, faded out there for 10 seconds. So I got another set of 20 in. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I said I did 115. I got 20 in. What we're gonna do now is sets. Then I'll move on to that incline trap thing. Absolutely right, Perry. If you go a lot higher on the sides, you start to engage a lot more traps. Not a bad thing if that's what you want to do, and that's what it comes down to is what part of the muscle we work on. So I want to focus on those side delts. I want to make them dirty. I want to make them burn. From a bodybuilding point of view, that's where you can add a lot of thickness through the side and the rear, create that shelf as they talk about. From shoulder health, balance it out so it's not all front dominant from pressing. So if your front, side, and rear delts are a lot stronger, you'll stabilize better in that shoulder joint. The rotator cuff issues are a lot less. It looks a lot more impressive, but also delivers a lot more power. So a lot of reasons. So if you're doing it for strength, do them. If you're doing them for aesthetics, do them. If you're doing it for shoulder health, do them. But bottom line is hit those shoulders from all 3 angles. You know, I've been 397, 400 pounds as a powerlifter and always said, hey, I'm a powerlifter, I'm a bencher, I've got to be big. And it was just excuses. I just was lazy, some confidence, some self-confidence, stuff like that. So making that switch, there's 3 times in my life I've dropped from the high 3s, early 4s down 100 pounds plus. And every time I've done that, my life has evolved and changed and gone to a whole new level. So my whole goal here is not to let that happen again. As we get older, it does get tougher. It gets tougher because it's just harder on us mentally and stuff, right? I don't believe physically. I think I'm in the best shape of my life at 52. But I want to keep improving on that. I want to keep rocking that. But I want to stop moving forward in 1 step and 3 steps back. That's where life is too short. So for me, this is why, you know, that 338, 339, that's an alarm, you know. Don't let that happen. Bring it back down. stay a little tighter with the food, you know, focus on the training, be just as strong at 297. I just have to believe that and then commit to that. Here we go, set 3. Oh yeah, 25 on that one. Second last set. The difference from going from 20 to 25, it's only 5 more reps, but I could feel it so much more. Every rep was working deeper and deeper. It was tougher, the burn was real. But it's on both sides. It's not like an injury thing happening, it's just the muscle ache is coming on. So at the end of the day, you know, that's what's going to stimulate growth. Bigger muscle, more potential for power output. I say this to a lot of the guys and girls powerlifting. If you look at the best powerlifters pound for pound, they're the leanest as a rule, the most muscular. They're taking advantage of everything. They're creating as much raw power through all the muscles they have so that they've got so much more to call on. You know, everyone's technique's gotten so much better. So we see big jumps. Everyone's benching 3 plates and 4 plates because technique has improved. Everyone's deadlifting 600 pounds plus because technique's improved. But what takes you from a 400-pound bencher to a 500-pound to a 600-pound to a 7, look at Julius Maddox, 800. It's hard work. Building a shit ton of muscle, shit ton of size. But at the same time, I believe having that extra body weight as far as body fat goes is a lot harder on your body health-wise than extra weight from muscle. Can't flex fat. As my good friend Paul Viancourt, multi-Ontario Strongest Man winner, said, is conditioning is where it's at. And I totally agree. Always agreed, just didn't believe it for myself. Yeah, still strong, doing shrugs on shoulder day, great finisher. Some people like to do it on back. I agree as well. I think it'll have a different effect on either one. You know, if you're doing it on shoulder day, I think you're going to have an effect on the muscle because of different angles, because the shoulder's being tired, so the traps have to work harder. I think doing it on the back day, you might be able to get away with more weight because your shoulder area and that whole back area is less fatigued, so you're going to be able to get more weight out of it. I think everyone's a little bit different as well. So run 6 weeks of each and come back and tell me which one you found better. Sometimes just a change. If you always do it on shoulders, throw it with back for 6 weeks. That change of stimulus will have an effect. Or at the same token, you'll turn around and say, hey, listen, when I did it with shoulders, this is what I noticed. Give it an honest run for 6 weeks on back. This is what I noticed. This is what I seem to prefer. It seems to work better for me, right? So I think those are movable objects in training where you need to try it, what works for you. Just a change in stimulus that has an effect as well. You know, a lot of my workouts right now, I pick the body parts, but I do a lot of variety in the lifting because I like that the whole, you know, constant change. That's more mental. I think if I go back to, hey, this is the Sunday workout I'm going to do for 4 Sundays, every exercise I do will become a lot stronger. I'll be more efficient because there's been adaptation to those exercises over 4 weeks. So there's a benefit to doing that as well too. Last set. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Whew. Yeah, baby. Last set, I always like to give it a couple extra reps. Mentally, I know it's the last set. I want to drive it in there. But like a racehorse heading to the barn, when you see the barn, you just want to run back in as fast as you can, no matter how tired you are. So I like that last set push all the time. Quite often I'll do a drop down set like you saw me do with the Swissbar overall. So guys, I want to move on to that rear delt thing. So I'm going to switch the bench around. play with the camera angle, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. But basically, what we're going to do is face down on a bench. We're going to be doing wide grip or bench grip upright row with the dumbbell, and then supersetting in the same position right into a shrug. So we're really trying to finish off those rear delts and the bottom trap tie-in. So bear with me while I turn the ship around. Adjust this so my ass doesn't slip. I'll try this angle first, see how it goes. And if it's easy, I'll change the angle a little bit, see which one I find hits the area the most. Absolutely, Perry. Good for you, buddy. 55 this year. I knew you were older than me, you old man. From 320 to 280. Dude, that 40 pounds is huge. Huge. I guarantee you, you sleep better. You move better. You feel better. Everything's functioning better. Listen, 52, 55. Man, there's a lot left to do. A lot left to conquer. Still the warrior inside us. Still a lot of iron will. To me, that's the sad part. Is when people lose sight of that and give up. It's a lot of work, but once you get back in the groove, you know, the advantage we have, Perry and Steph, you guys Steph just turned 50. Guys like us have been trained for 20, 30 years. We've got so much knowledge. We bring so much more to the plate that, you know, we spent a lifetime of acquiring knowledge and skill set in the gym that we can achieve more in 6 weeks and 6 months than a lot of people do in 2 and 3 years and have to figure all this stuff out at the same time, right? So I think we have an advantage. We're a little more, at this age, maybe a little more set. Take this crisis out. You know, so we have a place to live and we've got some means. Now we can turn around and focus those resources, because you guys remember when we were in our 20s, we could barely afford the gym membership, right? We were focusing on girls and jobs and drinking and all the other stuff. You know, so we had a lot of other things pulling at us. Now, a lot of those things are settled. So we have the energy to put it into something else. We have the resources, but we have that knowledge. So we just have to get inspired and determined and go after it. So I'm going to try this first set with the 30s, see how it feels, see if it doesn't crush my nuts too much. So pull straight up. I don't like that angle. I'm going to go see what I can do here. Maybe a little higher up. Might go into my knee here. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it this way. So pull up, straight up. Into the shrug. Okay, I like that. We're going to go a little heavier though. I'm going to waddle around my getting up on the knee allowed me to focus on keeping my chest more upright and I could breathe. Again, they are boob smashers. My boobs do feel a little smashed. So getting up on my knee definitely helps. So I feel my sternum. So what do I think of someone during the time of crisis? Should usually have zero weights and zero equipment at home. Well, plan differently. Again, I talked about that a little bit earlier. Body weight push-ups, squats, sit-ups, crunches, planks, ton of shit you can do. You see a lot of guys are posting online how to build weights with 2x4s, racks with 2x4s, buckets and some cement to create weights. Lots of ways around it. You know, hard now because there's an incredible sell-off of gym equipment, so people are buying everything left, right, and center. Hard to get some stuff. Perry, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're following. But listen, I'll tell you what, Perry. I know you've had some shoulder craziness and stuff happen from the heavy lifting, but I'm thoroughly convinced if you keep on this track of getting leaner, getting stronger, more muscular, I think those heavy lifting days are going to come back for you. I really believe that. I think you're going to work on some better foundation, and you're going to have the capability to do it. A lot of stuff that you think you haven't been able to do in a while and you miss. You know, once you're an old strongman powerlifter dog like you and me, it's hard to get rid of it, get it out of our system. So I think you spend the next 2 to 3 months rebuilding this base, becoming more athletic, getting down to the 20, 30 pounds, build some muscle mass. You're going to be surprised what you can get back into. Can you get back to all of it? Don't know. But you can find something, right, and get stronger at it. And I do believe we can keep getting stronger. So keep the faith, brother. I think you can surprise yourself. It's just we have to work a little bit different. Number one, avoid injuries. Number two, learn to work through injuries, prepare, rehab them, and avoid them going forward. Easier said than done, but that's why a lot of people don't do it, brother. That's why a lot of people don't do it. All right, gonna go a little heavier. Put the knee up on the bench. Just up. Let's try these pulls. Oh yeah. Oh. Definitely felt the difference there with that heavier weight. So I went from the 30s up to the 55s. Two things are happening. Because the area's pre-exhausted, it doesn't take as much to get in there. So the sets and reps get deeper. Could I go heavier? Yes, but I want to try to maintain better form. I want to keep that tension on. Tension. 13 reps and 13 reps. That's 26 reps. Yeah, Perry, there's a lot of these old school exercises. I was saying in the beginning of the video, you might not tune in. We get so used to, I know for me, a couple gym memberships, there's a machine for this, there's a machine for that. I want to hit this, I want to hit that. It's great. But don't forget, when guys like you and me and Steph started training, what was there? There was a lat pull down, maybe a tricep machine, a leg press. Back in the 80s, there wasn't a lot of cable stuff. There wasn't a lot of machines. There was no isolateral. There was no hammer this, hammer that. So to do all that stuff, we had to do these dumbbells. We had to adjust the angle. We had to move the weight in a different plane. We had to learn how to feel the exercise, proprioception. Probably the only big word I like to use. So learning to feel your shoulders and feel your traps so that when you're working them, you can put the work effort into there and make sure those are the muscle groups that are working. Super important. Hard. So when you see guys girls that are young and they start training and they're not used to it, they're like puppies, they're floppy, they're all over the place because they don't know how to stabilize yet. They haven't awakened or awoken these muscle groups. So the key is we want to switch them on and then be able to isolate them and then put a lot of work into them and stuff, right? That only comes in time, with time and experience. John, what do I think of band work? Love it. Look back at my last couple of videos on YouTube. You'll see a lot more band work. We're using bands to replace the cable effect of things. So we did a couple of workouts where we did seated row. We did seated row overhead extension with bands, bent over rows. Of course, push downs, some chin ups. So, it's probably the most cost effective way to add things to your gym is a set of bands. I would get two of each size. So you can do a whole bunch of different things overall, right? It gives you a lot more manipulations. You can work deeper into the strength curve with things. There's so much more you can do with it. Portable, dollar for dollar, the cheapest way you can take a 3 sets of bands and take that pair of 20-pound dumbbells. And by the time you're done adding bands to it, they're 80-pound dumbbells at the top, right? So lots and lots of opportunity there. You're right, Barry. We have to innovate, man. We have to figure shit out. right? We had to grab stuff and, you know, like monkeys, you know, starting the first fire, we had to figure out how does this work, right? That kind of stuff. You're right, still strong stuff. You know, when you lose weight, you get stronger. I really think we get stronger as we lose weight because we become more athletic, more capable, more conditioned, right? We become a better machine. We feel better physically. We also feel better mentally. And guys, it's what's happening between the years that dictates how things are going to unfold for us, our mindset. You know, I talk about it all the time, journaling and meditating and stuff. A lot of people out there just don't believe in it, but you know what? Now more than ever, that shit is true. And now with isolation, we're forced to stay inside our head a bit more. That's what's driving a lot of people squirrely. They don't like being there. They don't know what to do when they're there. They're uncomfortable there. The thoughts come up that they don't want to think about. You know, so they're binging on Netflix. And thank God the liquor store's still open so they can stay drunk. But again, guys, girls, this is the chance for us to take a reset and rebuild some stuff, right? It's like we've been given 30 days off to do what we want to do. Make the most of it so that when things go back to normal, you're not just starting up, you're fucking hitting the ground running. You're way ahead. You're ready to rock. All right, let's go. Get up, high up in the sternum so we don't smash our boobs. Pulse, let's go. One. Lead with the elbows. Into the shrug. One. Contract the top. Two. Hold it. Woo! Yeah, baby. We're gonna rock one more set of these. One more set. One more set. Guys, those of you that are watching, one thing that will help get these videos spread a little bit more is if you like the video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe. But liking and leaving a comment, sharing it goes a long way, guys. You know, I just want to be out there. Like I said, I want to help communicate with more people, help motivate, inspire, stay accountable myself, you know, and just really live and breathe what I believe myself and the brand Iron House Gear stand for. And that's just staying strong, developing an iron will through strength and power, and becoming better versions of ourselves so that we can lead from the front and we can inspire others. And then down the line, it's our job to help motivate others to follow along and get better and stronger. And that's in our power, guys. That's up to us. So we're gonna get ready for the last set on this. And I think I'll do a band finisher face pull for Jan so she can see something we do with the bands. Yeah, Perry, the thing that we don't do today is, remember when we trained, one was doing stuff like now, we had to visualize pressing the 400 or 500 pounds. No one was doing that then like now. So yeah, so now you know what we got to do? We got to watch guys that are stronger than us, right? Perry, you remember when we were powerlifting? There was no videos. Muscle Mag maybe had an article on the bench for the squat, 2 pictures, start, finish, midpoint, you know. And then I remember when Powerlifter USA magazine was available in Canada, we bought that stuff. They were expensive. Then the videos came out. They were like $80 each. Back in the 90s, they were $80 each. You know? We buy those and share them and stuff. Today, it's everywhere. So you got to find your inspiration. So is your inspiration following someone who's stronger than you? Then follow them. Is your inspiration someone who's like you and getting it done to a level you want to get it done, or at the same level? Then follow them, right? So a lot more advantages that way overall. I know before a heavy bench session, I'm watching the guys bench 600-700 pounds because, you know, I want to be stronger, right? So I want to push, and part of me believes that another human can do it. What's stopping me from doing it as a human? And that's the power of the visualization. You know, I tell guys that, and girls, you got squat tonight? Watch some squat videos. Watch your own, watch others. Get it in your head. Get excited, get motivated. Program your brain to go and execute later on. All right, gonna do the last round of this, and we're gonna set up for some face pulls. Show Jan how we can do some band work. All right, last round. Last round. Here we go. Let's go 15. Here we go, strut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Sweet baby Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus indeed. Whew. All right. Gonna move some things around. Get ready for some banded face pulls, Janet. So, give me a second. Hardest part of the workout, putting your stuff away. Cardio, cardio. All right, guys, so we're going to set up for some face pulls. Put the rack over here. I'm going to use this purple band to start. Throw it over again, pull it through. A couple of things about bands, guys. Whatever you attach it to, make sure it's a great anchor so it's not going to move. Because if you attach it to something, say you screw something in the wall and you attach it, and that shit comes out, it's going to accelerate at like 500 feet per second right in your fucking skull. So attach it to an immovable object. Once you have that, my hands are getting a little dirty from grabbing all the weight, so instead of grabbing the bands with my hands, I'm going to grab an attachment. I'm being a little bit of a wuss here. So let's go. And for me, just have some carabiners, some C-clamps, stuff you can get, I guess online now, Canadian Tire. Attach it to your bands like you would a cable. I try to use stuff that's not going to cut up the band. So now I can attach an attachment to it. So what attachment am I going to use? Let me see here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So I have this easy curl attachment. So I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna move the camera up so you can see a little more what's happening. Now we do band pulls, guys. I really like. I think we're back. Sorry, guys. All right. So a couple of things I'm saying earlier, a couple of things I have to make sure we do any band work is that whatever position, the start position, there has to be some tension on the band. If you get to the start position anywhere and there's no tension on the band, we're losing the effect of what we're trying to do. Make it harder throughout the whole motion. So in the point, different movements, there's points where it gets easier. The band actually makes it harder, so we're deeper into the strength curve, more contraction, more time under tension. Number two is, like I said earlier, whatever you attach it to, make sure it's secure and it's not coming at you. And the other thing with bands, lots and lots of reps, 15 minimum, 20, 25 reps. So here I'm going to grab this, I'm going to step back, and I'm going to be pulling face pulls, so forehead area, arms up high, and pull. 1. 45. So I always try to get 20, 25 reps minimum. That was really dirty because the shoulders are pretty exhausted already. Oh, guys, it was 9 degrees here when we started. It felt like -5. Now at the end of the workout, sweating through the hoodie. It's warm in here. All right. So as I was saying, John, this is for you. Band pull parts. The other thing too is, let's say the purple's not enough. I can go ahead, loop this red, bring it beside it, bring it over here, attach it. Now I've got a purple red. So you can keep adjusting your tension and you can find the right way to get that tension you need. Same thing too. If it becomes too hard, I can pull that red off. Absolutely, Perry. It's one of the great things about bands. Rehab tool, lots of time under tension, easy on the joints, so it's not the same kind of workload. So we go a little lighter at the beginning, gets heavier through, but we're not putting a tremendous amount of strain on the joints. So some recovery from that, some blood in there, some heat and warmth and stuff like that for sure. Blood in, nutrients, blood out, waste material, recovery. Tension for muscle. Keep it moving, stop it from seizing up. So very, very important overall. All right, let's see. I added the red band. Let's see if I can get 25 reps on this. This is for you, Janet. Again, the YouTube shut off. So I don't know how many reps you saw, but I think I got like 130. No, I got 25 in, a little dirtier. The other cool thing with bands too, if I want to work different parts of my traps, is I can attach it to the bottom, and this is one of my other favorite, I'll show this in the video later on. I'll do a superset where I'll pull 10 under the chin, and then I try to pull 10 over the head. So 2 different angles, I hit the rear delts, traps, teres minor, all those things. So cool. Guys, I'm going to do one more set of this, then we're going to shut it down. This workout, we got an hour and a half in. Typically, my workout would be closer to an hour, but some screwing around, getting set up. And that's what I like about the high reps too, guys. Breathing, huffing and puffing. I'll tell you guys a story in one of my other videos where I got asked not to come back to a gym because I was sweating too much. Or if I came back, I had to wear a long sleeve. And this is a hardcore gym. So it's really interesting. And it wasn't any douchebaggery. I was wiping the equipment down after every set. I won't say what gym it is, but I'll tell you the real reason why I was asked. The members complained about it. I have a purple and a green. We'll have to get a red. Get a red, Janet, or even 2 mini oranges. 2 mini oranges like this. If they're sold out online, I have a bunch of the orange ones for sale. I'm gonna have them up on my site. You can grab. I do the orange for a lot of pull aparts, a lot of high reps. You can double up on them if you need more. Let me know. I know there's a lot of places that are out of bands, so if I can help you out that way, I will. So, all right, coming up on the last set. Lower back's a little pumped as well. That's more from that bench work with the pulls and then the shrugs at the end. So we're gonna hit this last set, guys, and then we're gonna shut her down. All right, I'm gonna go for 30 reps. Last set. I like to hammer up more reps. I like to say it out loud, so now I have to do it. Here we go. Halfway. 60. Oh, I kicked out again, guys. I don't know about this Android being better shit. My iPhone never kicked out like that. Mind you, the speaker of mine doesn't work after. It is a 7, so it's a little bit older. So that's the last set. I got 30 reps in, I promise. If the video cut out before I was finished. So that's the workout for today, guys. A lot of high reps, cardio. Pump is real. I feel it through the shoulders, the traps, the chest. And that's really what I want out today. Just that thick feeling, solid feeling. So this is when I get to Tuesday, I get ready for the heavy bench. I'm feeling my back, I'm feeling my triceps. They feel thick, and I feel I can execute through them much more effectively. Plus, I'm going for that size, I'm going for that shape. As I get leaner, it's going to show more. So that's what I'm going to do, guys. Next Sunday is going to be, again, volume chest. You'll see I change it up a little bit, that kind of thing. Hopefully I've got better recording stuff to make it good. Guys, like I said, if you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Share and comment on the Facebook page I put up about this as well. And then fire me off if you have an exercise you want me to cover. Any questions? I'd love to do a little bit of Q&A at the beginning or the after and just share some of my knowledge. Guys, I'm not the world's best, but after 30 years, I have a lot to offer. And I truly believe that everyone watching can work on improving themselves physically, mentally, emotionally. Now's the time to do it. The whole world's on pause, so this is time for us to work on ourselves. All right? I'll talk to you guys later.